Tu aime-moi, prends-moi dans tes bras et je n'ai plus personne. Ne laisse pas ton odeur imprégner mes draps et si tu m'abandonnes, je suis pas celle que tu crois, aucun cabron ne m'a touché. À part toi, caballero, personne ne m'a touché. La cocaïne, intime ma famille.
So today I'm going to go through and break down the trade that I took on USD CHF the other day. A really simple trade to take. So without further ado, let's get straight into the trade breakdown. So as you will notice on USD CHF, we've had a huge sell-off right here. And what this probably is it's probably a higher time frame break of structure. So or probably on like the daily time frame or something like that, we've had sort of a break of structure right up here. But for me personally, I don't look at the daily. It's more 4-hour and 15-minute, analysis. So once I'm at this stage right here, and this is, kind of the area that I'm looking at, and this, most recent price action right here is kind of what I would be trading. So what I'm looking at right here is we've had a break of structure to the upside, right? We've broken this fractal. But for me, this right here, at this point, once we have this, this bullish candle, for me, that's unconfirmed. And what this means is I've got to wait for the next 4-hour candle to print, see what's happening. If we get a bullish candle, that means we have follow through. If we get a bearish candle like we have right here, that means we are no follow through. So at this point right here, we're no follow through. And what I was looking for is I was looking for a trade back down into this 4-hour discount right here. So that's just as simple as the higher time frame analysis needs to be. Really, really simple stuff. So what we can do then is we can drop down onto the 15-minute then, we can set our alerts, and then we can pretty much go about our day, do pretty much whatever we like. And we can come back once those alerts get triggered. So if we drop down now onto the 15-minute chart, as you will notice, this is kind of what I was looking at. This is now, my overall 4-hour range that I'm dealing in. So what I can do then is I can kind of identify, my liquidity pools that I'm looking to be taken. So if I just zoom in a little bit, what we're looking at. So around this time when I was getting at the charts, this is kind of what I was seeing. And for me personally, I trade from 7:30 UK time till around 10 AM, and that there personally is my London session, and then I'll have a break and I will come back then for New York. So this is kind of what I was seeing, and at this moment in time, what you will notice is that price does start to sort of impulse down towards the EQ of the 4-hour range. We then see this fractal printed right here, and this is the liquidity pool that I'm looking to be taken in order to get involved in a trade. So if I just change this to an arrow, as you will notice, what I'm looking for now is I'm looking for price to pretty much just retrace back up here, take the liquidity from above this fractal. Once we get that, we can then set our order, and then we can look to trade down in towards, the discount area of the 4-hour range. So what we're looking at now is pretty much just being patient and just waiting for price to retrace, come up, take this liquidity. So let's see what happens. If we play price forward, as you can see, we do continue down a little bit further. London session has now kicked in, so 7:30 London session is now on, and this is when I can now look for my trades. So let's see kind of what happens. We get a very, impulsive move to the upside. We do get a sweep. So pretty much on this candle right here, I didn't actually like this candle, just for the simple fact is it's so much bigger than all the rest of the previous price action. So if we put a register raw tool on here and just kind of see what the overall stop loss would be, you're looking at sort of a 16 to 17 pip stop loss on this. But as you can see, the next candle is a bearish candle, and it's also very, very small in comparison to the candle to the left. So what I did is I set my order on this right here, and I add around an 8 pip stop loss. So, an 8 pip stop loss, giving it a little bit of a breathing room. And then I was targeting a 1 to 3, very, very simple stuff. 1 to 3 is just into the discount of the 4-hour range. So what I will need to do now is once we do trade below this line right here, that would mean that I'm then tagged in to this trade. So let's kind of see what happens. So we get tagged in straight away. We do sort of start coming down quite impulsively, and then what you'll see happens is this trade just mucks about for quite a long time. It comes back up towards our stop loss, and if you just had your stop loss on this high right here, you would have actually been taken out of this trade. I don't know if people who trade this style did have their stop loss above the high right there and did get taken out, but with me having an 8 pip stop loss, I did manage to stay in this trade, and that's the most important thing. So let's see what happens now. We do start coming down. We do again come up to breach this high right here, so you could have got another entry right here if that was in your session times, but for me personally, I don't trade now until 1 PM, and then that is when my New York session will start. But what will happen then is we start to come down. Like I said, we're in this trade for a really, really long time. and what you will notice eventually, price does come down and hit take profit. So we was in this trade for around sort of, you know, 6.5 hours, something like that. So it was quite painful when we were hovering around in drawdown up there. But the 8 pip stop loss did actually save me. You know, it come within, you know, a couple of pips of taking me out. But overall, for me personally, my minimum stop loss is 8 pips. But usually what I would do, if it was like, you know, 10, 11 pips, I would just add 1 pip to the stop loss. So in this, you know, scenario right here, because the stop loss would have been 7.4, you know, my minimum stop loss is 8 pips. So if I just add the extra 0.6 to it, 8 pip stop loss, that's my minimum. And in this scenario right here, it did keep me in the trade. On another day, I might have been taken out, but overall, it did work out on this specific trade right here. So that's just the overall trade idea. That's how I executed it, and that's how long it took to play out. A really, really simple trade. A+ setup coming from a no follow through bias. So for me, overall, this trade, you know, was textbook. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's the overall trade recap and trade breakdown. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to drop them in the comment section down below. If you want to see any more trade breakdowns or any more videos on the way that I do trade, feel free to let me know. And without further ado, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.